Hello, and welcome to development log number 1 for my new game, Pico Strategy. Pico Strategy aims to be a spiritual successor to the Famicom and Advance Wars series of games. It features turn-based strategy, various tile-based maps, and online multiplayer. I want this game to feel as close as possible to the games I am trying to emulate, while including some modern improvements. Advance Wars was one of my favorite games growing up. I have very fond memories of passing a Game Boy Advance back and forth to play the game during sleepovers. For those unfamiliar with the Wars games, as they're often called, they are a series of turn-based strategy games mainly featuring simple mechanics and pixel art graphics. The objective is always to achieve the win condition before the other team does. Let me walk you through how the game plays in one of the Game Boy Advance titles, as I am most familiar with that part of the series. When you start a new versus match, you choose the game map and then your commanding officer. The commanding officer determines everything from the team you play on to what special abilities you have access to. After that, you launch into the actual game. Each player takes turns, giving commands to their units, and units can perform 1 or 2 actions per turn, mostly moving and attacking. Some typical win conditions are capturing the opponent's headquarters, or just eliminating all enemy units. In every game past the original Advance Wars, there's also a campaign mode that features a story and preset matches that play to the opponent commanding officer's strengths and weaknesses. I plan to stick to this formula for Pico Strategy, though I do want to change some things up, mostly by including networked functionality. I think modern games have invented some unique gameplay modes and mechanics that could be applied to this type of game to good effect. Godot Mono is my engine of choice for this project, as I wanted something simple to work with and something I can use C# to code in. The backend, including multiplayer, is built on top of the ASP.NET Core framework, and uses Signal R to communicate with the game client. I made this decision because it is a framework I have a lot of experience developing in, and the Signal R library provides very reliable, real-time communication functionality. To show off some of the capabilities of this setup, here's a 32 by 32 tile map that is stored on and sent from the server. Once the client receives the data from the server, it constructs the map graphic as a tile map node in Godot. To make it clear, this map won't be hard-coded in the final product. Most likely, this data will be stored in a database with many other maps. My hope is that one day users will be able to upload their own custom maps using the same tools I use to make them. In terms of basic user interface, there's a cursor to tell the player what tile they are currently over. I've implemented the ability to pan the camera around the map at varying speeds based on the position of the cursor so they can see everything going on. On top of that, the basics of network play are working in the game. Ideally, we want the client, in this case the game, to send input to the server and receive game state in return. This should happen asynchronously, which is to say, the game should not halt and wait for the server to return the game state. In the case of Pico Strategy, I have boiled down the game inputs to a set of commands, such as place unit, move unit, or attack unit. What's important here is that the server is in charge of validating and processing the commands, not the client. If we allowed the clients to be in charge of such a task, it would be extremely easy to cheat at the game. You could just forge your own game state and send it along to the other players, which I'm positive they would not be very happy about. Here's a demonstration of the place unit command working over the network. Client A is on the left and Client B is on the right. When I click on an empty tile in Client A, the place unit command is sent to the server, validated, and then sent back to all clients that are in that specific game. I know this isn't the most visually impressive example in the world, but I can promise you that we are sending a command to the server and receiving valid game state back. We can even do it from Client B and see the result on Client A. Nice. Lastly, I've begun to make some art assets for the game units. I'm not sure how final these will be, but they will work for now. In order to keep the pixel art more appealing on larger displays, and to force myself to not just copy the sprite assets out of Advance Wars, I've decided to use a base sprite resolution of 24 by 24 pixels. Here's the art for the recon unit, and the armored personnel carrier unit, though I have decided to rename that unit to Supply Truck for Pico Strategy. It just makes more sense to me, given the unit's role of supplying units and moving infantry. As you have already seen, here's the working version of the game's logo. I wanted to make something that feels like it belongs in a Wars game, but also pulls from titles such as Metal Slug for inspiration. That is what I have at the moment. None of what I've presented is guaranteed to be in any release of the game. I plan on there to be more to come in the future, so please subscribe, especially if you are interested in more updates and development logs. And if you have already subscribed, thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. I would also encourage you to join my studio's Discord if you want to discuss more about this project, collaborate on ideas, or check out other things I work on. Take care, and thanks for tuning in.